love. God is love. God is love, which indicates the very essence of all God is love. So even when God is angry, it is still love. And even when God has wrath, it's still love. Oh, y'all not. See, we get confused because we think love is just an emotion. But love is more than an emotion. It is an essence. It is at God's core the best definition of who God is. And because we don't understand that God is love, sometimes we get confused at what God is doing. Oh my goodness. I remember once when I was very young, we had taken a trip to Houston, Texas, which is where my father's family lived. And my father had taken me to a store, and we walked down to the store that was in the neighborhood. Well, some of you that have not been down south, some stuff in the south is different than it is up here. And one of the things that was different is that, you know, in Texas, everything is big. And so up here, I had seen a mousetrap, which was a little thing like this. But the mice in Texas are a different kind of animal. The traps here were this big, but the trap there was this big. I remember my aunt telling me about putting a trap down. A mouse got caught in the big trap, and when she came home, it had turned over the trap and was walking around with the trap on his neck. Now, something said, I don't want to see that kind of mouse. But my curiosity, Chris, as a child, I always liked to see how things worked. And so I saw this big trap in the store, and I was fascinated and wanted to see how it worked. And so I pulled the thing back and set the trap, and then I wanted to see it go off. And so I found a little stick, and I put the little stick on the thing, and the thing popped and snapped the stick. My father came around the corner and looked at me and looked at the trap and looked at the stick and grabbed me by one hand and took them big meat hooks of a hand that he had and began to apply some wisdom. And while he was doing that, he began to tell me, boy, do you know that thing could have snapped your arm? Why would you do that? And so even though he was whipping me, I understood it was coming from a place of love. And there are moments when God will allow things to happen to us that if you're not clear that God is love, you will think it's punishment. When the goal is correction to keep you out of some trouble, come on, somebody ought to know what I'm saying. There's some stuff, Marcia, that I tried to get into when I was younger that God said, no, I'm not even going to let you start that.
Hands together. Oh, yeah. Love God and faith. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I was running in circles, jumping the hurdles, getting caught in that rush of doing so much. I was feeling kind of